Hey you guys, this is the One Piece King here today. This is a video that is going to be happening before, well, it's already Christmas Eve by today, and Christmas is going to be tomorrow. So most likely we will not be expecting a Christmas video, but if there's going to be one, I'll just make it a small video wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Um, but anyway though, what I wanted to actually talk about in this video though is that officially I said that World Seeker is done. It is. And I was watching Alex Swag's video, by the way, shout out to his channel. And he was talking about and he was talking about like what DLC to really go for out of the three. And of course he was saying that Zoro's was much better than the other two. I kind of agree though. Like with Zoro's though, they gave it more with Zoro that they gave him more of a bigger boost. But then you got Law and Sabo on the other hand of it. Sabo, the only thing they screwed up really was that there was this little gauge thing that he has. It's like a flame, the flame gauge or something. And the more you attack in battles, the more it increases and you do a lot more damage with it. But I'm just thinking, like, why can't the fire gauge either be already at 100% no matter what? Because, Sabo's made of fire. The dude literally, could already do a lot of, fire related moves and everything. Like his moveset that they give him, like a lot of his techniques that he has does revolve around the fire. Like he has the fire gun. Um, Not really fire pillar. It's like it's got like this jump attack that he's got where you can like jump and hold square in the air, or unless if you're playing like Xbox, then you use the jump button and also the attack button as well. But you gotta hold it though, and he kind of does almost like a fire pillar move, but he kind of just like hits down on the ground. Which I've kind of used that a couple of times and everything, and not realizing I had that move. So I really wish I should have known about that move. I would have been like, cool. It's like I could have done that move a lot more. But the flame gauge is really what gets me because I can increase his base attack as much as I want, but with the flame gauge though, that kind of really messes up the purpose. Like Sabo should already have the flame gauge already to like 100% no matter what. Sabo should already be good. I played a lot of DLC and everything, like talking about him. His was kind of fun though. The story, however, though, and I read in the comments on his video that somebody had said that Law's DLC felt more like it was a filler, like it didn't really pertain to the main story at all, and it technically is true. It never did, you know. It never did because I'm trying to think back at, thinking like, did we ever have to rescue, like Jan, the main, like the main female character of the group? Like, did we have to save her at some point in the main story? Because if we didn't have to save her, through the main story and stuff, like if we didn't have to, as, like as a main story mission, then that just means that that whole part right there was just filler. It never happened. So I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, this never connected back to the main story. It seemed like you just threw that part in there thinking that we did this part in the main game, but we didn't, you know. The only part that would have been, the only part that they should have added in that would have tied back into the main story of the game, um, was basically, like I said in the last video, talking about Law's DLC, would be at the end where, he's basically chilling out with the kid, he's, having a moment, and it's like, they chill out on the floating island for a while, and then whenever crisis is happening and stuff, like he notices there's a crisis happening on the ground floor, or at least on the prison island itself, like the land basically, and not in the sky. But he's noticing that there's commotion going on the land, and he kind of jumps, like he would jump down and everything, possibly even bringing the kid with him because he's not gonna have the kid just stuck there by himself. Um, but he would bring the kid with him. They would fall. they would fall off the floating island. They would kind of just like zoom, like fall all the way down, and then Law is still doing his inner dialogue, saying how up until this point that I've been on this island, it's been nothing but just a lot of mystery. It's been basically boring to him, and until he found the kid and went through all the stuff, it seemed like Law actually got to have fun for once. He's got to be enjoying himself, all for that matter and everything. And and so basically whenever he finally reaches to the floor and everything, whenever in the main game we have like the scene whenever you go to fight the robots at the Emery Plaza, which is basically close by. Um there's like this scene where Law randomly shows up and everything, like he shambles himself there and he kind of just cuts all the robots down and stuff. But I would have definitely loved to see a scene like the same scene like that and everything where he comes in. I mean, he would probably teleport the kid somewhere else and everything and not have it be by him because, well, unless if they want to do that, they'll have to re-edit the same thing and have the kid next to Law right there. But, I didn't see the kid, so I'm like, it's like the kid's not there, so, Um, but Law would basically, kind of just be there to save the day, and his final dialogue would be like, you know what? Like, out of all what I've done today, this has been the most fun I've ever had, out of everything else, this has been the most fun I've ever had in a long time. And he would smile at the end, like he would smile at that. He'd be like, and then there you go, roll credits. But they really didn't do that though. They really didn't go and add that. Like like they did for Zoro, like at the end of his DLC and everything, because he gets called back to his group, and he has to go and do all that and everything. We didn't actually see this in the main story. All we saw of Zoro was basically that he got to Zoro basically got to go and kind of cut down all the robots and everything. Like he got to go and do that. Um, and they were all asking where he was at, and Zoro's like, I've been around the island and everything. Main story, he just says that and everything, and, we cut over to Luffy still, kind of in the air, and Usopp kind of just shoots all the other robots down and stuff. But in the case in Zoro's DLC, he says, I've been around the island, but then smirks with a smile, in which we didn't get to see that. And I'm like, that's a perfect way how to do it. That's a perfect way how to end Zoro's little story and everything. That's cool, you know? But but with Laws though, there was so much that they could have added for his and everything, because it felt like the whole thing was just a filler story. Which again, like I said, somebody mentioned that and everything, and I was proud that they did mention that, because if not, I was about to be like, technically, the whole story base of it and everything didn't pertain to the main story at all. None of it did. It like basically Law's, Sky Island thing wasn't even a main mission. It was more like a side mission that you could do, that you could launch yourself up to the Sky Islands whenever you want. But the whole point of it though was that, you were grabbing info about it and everything. And but also, whenever you were grabbing info, you kind of went and called Law about it and told him like, hey, this is what's been up about the Sky Island and everything. This is basically, what the kind of information I just got about it. And Law is kind of like, it's like, well, shoot, that kind of puts, an end to our little discovery there. But basically though, I'm still gonna keep on working on it and everything. You just, still keep around for it and stuff, and then there you go. Um, but I think whenever you do get to reach the Sky Island, I don't think you actually get to see Law on the Sky Island at all. Like whenever you go there and everything, you don't get to hear about if he's there or not. You don't get to see him and everything. It's just literally like, well, I finally found my way on how to get to the Sky Island. I finally found a way. Like I found a map, so I'm gonna use that and bloop, and shoot myself up there. But it was just like Law got to shoot himself up to a Sky Island. Sky Island, he did, but that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. We never really got much, like other missions or something that dealt with Law and everything. All it was like a Sky Island mission all that time. So Yeah, basically the whole Sky Island thing was more of a filler, and the whole point was Jan getting kidnapped and all that stuff with Kizaru and everything was just it was all filler. It never pertained to the main story at all. It never did. Because if it did, then Luffy and the group most definitely would have got in the way of Kizaru after saving Jan, and they would have been like, hey, like you cannot kidnap our friend. We're all going too, because well they kidnapped the kid later and everything because Raul even says that he knows where the Dynastones are and everything, and Kizaru takes them. But Luffy and the whole group should have been there in the beginning, or at least the whole point of it to go and do that because they care for the kid too. But they weren't though. The only person that was there on the floating island with them was it was Frankie. But overall, that was just it. No other Straw Hat was with them. It was just Frankie, and that's why I'm just like, what, like Law's story had too many cutscenes in it, which was cool, I guess, but it didn't pertain to the main story because the whole Sky Island thing wasn't even a main story mission. It was just a side mission. That's all it ever was. So, like, Law, can we actually have a Law DLC that actually would pertain to the main mission and stuff? Like, kind of, or not the main mission, but the main story that would kind of, like, be a part of it and not just be not including it because, I don't know. It just really is disappointing because Zoro's and Sabo's most definitely connected back to the main story. Uh, Zoro's did twice. Yeah, Zoro. Actually, no. It connected to the main story three times actually. The beginning, and then part of the middle. Yeah, like kind of part in the middle whenever they go and do the part with hijacking the radio tower, and then later on for Emery Plaza. So that's like three and everything. Like with Emery Plaza with three, and then with the finale part and everything at the end when Zoro kind of just it's on his way, running up the mountain and stuff. Or yeah, running up like the mountain and everything, and reaching to the group to kind of help Luffy and the others. Like that's pretty much it. Like that's how many parts that he got, in the role of the story. Like that's pretty cool. Sabo, I'm trying to really think with Sabo because I don't think Sabo even got much and everything. It was more like, um, I think it was more like with just like maybe one or two really, where one of them I think dealt with Jen at the yeah, I think one of them dealt with Jen at the beach or something, like with Isaac and Jen at the beach, or I think it was probably a different thing or something, like maybe at Crystal Canyon with Jen or something, because she said that she saw Lucci or a leopard or a cat person, like a cat leopard. I think yeah, leopards are cats. They're the you get what I mean though. Basically, she's talking about Lucci and she's trying to find out where he went, and Sabo's also there. Like, huh? It's like I think I know who you're talking about. Like a cat leopard. I know who you're talking about. You know. I mean, I don't think that really fully pertains to the main story, but it's sort of a crucial part of it because Jen was kidnapped at the Crystal Canyon and everything, and she was kidnapped by the CP0, which was Lucci. In which case, whenever you play as Luffy, basically, you go and fight him and you beat him. But but with Sabo though, it's more like you fight Lucci at a different point though. Like you fight him near the end. Um, but two of the parts that Sabo kind of also comes in and everything, well, yeah, it is two. That kind of also almost pertain to the main story though. The obvious one is basically the Sabo versus Alkainu fight, which basically, you do that fight and stuff and you win. Um, well, technically by cutscene you don't win. It's more like they're doing a standstill and everything. Um, but by actuality of like the boss fight, you do win the boss fight. Like you do beat him. Um, But after the fight and everything, there's that cutscene where, Isaac kind of just sacrifices himself and everything. He shoots the person in the water, the sky person in the water. Um, but also the finale part and everything that cuts over to Luffy and Jen, you only get to see like partial of it, but then it cuts over to like Sabo just like up above somewhere from the harbor, just watching them talk and everything, and he's like, you know what? I did a lot today. I discovered a lot and everything, but you know, and it even kind of throws in the thing of how Isaac is even alive and everything. Like, sorry for spoilers, but it's like sort of like a secret ending if you keep watching the credits and everything. Or I think if you skip the credits, yeah. I don't know if you skip the credits, you'll still get that secret ending scene. I think you will. Yeah, I think so. But there's like the secret ending though, besides the Straw Hats ending, but um, you also see Jen kind of just sitting there at the grave and everything, like at her mother's grave. But then later on, you see Isaac also there too, and he's kind of just holding flowers and stuff, and he's and he smiles and everything. Like he's holding the flowers, he kind of just looks at the flowers a bit, and he's like, yeah, it's like I'm paying respects to our mother. And there you go, Isaac is alive, but at first I never knew how he was alive, but then by knowing the Sabo DLC, it surprised me at the end of how he was alive because, Sabo made a call to his revolutionary, army group, one of his buddies, I think it was Karasu, because Karasu is the only one that can fly, but, yeah, but he went and called up one of his buddies to go and to go and rescue Isaac and everything, if they can find him, and, whenever they do, to go and bring him back, you know. And so I'm just like, that's how Isaac survived, that's how he survived, because of Sabo DLC, it's more explained in his story, that's pretty cool. But then we cut over, to Law, you know, Law's DLC does not explain nothing, it's more like just Law having a relationship with, like a friendly relationship, like they're friends and everything. Like Law actually cares for this kid, you know. Like Law is just like, you know what? It's like this kid's got a cool dream and stuff to draw a map and everything. Even though I find that to be copying, Nami's whole thing, because Nami's whole dream is to, draw a map of the world, and this kid wants to do it too. I'm like, kid, you're kind of copying someone else's dream, because I know someone else that does that too. Like, I know someone else that wants to do that too, but you're kind of a bit too late to be, drawing a map of the world. You're kind of a bit too late because, it's kind of like throwing in a wrench in this kid's dreams and stuff because of the fact, like, it's a cool dream, but it's also the fact that he, like, it's copying another person's dream, which is Nami's. So, the whole part of the kid wanting to go and draw a map of the world kind of thing, like, he's not going to be a pirate and do that like Nami is doing. He's being a adventurer and doing that. But problem is, though, is that, like, the kid is young right now. Like, he's like a young kid, looks like a 9 or 10-year-old. But then you got Nami that's literally like in her 20s over here, and woman's already freaking, yeah, like woman is already freaking making, the map already, because like One Piece is gonna be done, like of the series, like of what we know of the series is gonna be done in 5 years. So by 5 years, Nami is gonna be drawing a map of the world, and then I'm basically gonna be looking back at this kid in World Seeker with Lost DLC. I'm gonna be like, yeah, 5 years later, kid, it happened. It doesn't matter if you're already grown up. Guess what? There's gonna be a big announcement that, like Nami basically is gonna get this big award for drawing a map of the world, and this kid is just gonna be like, my dream, my dream was stolen. It's like, no. Technically, you stole someone else's dream, buddy, and you didn't even know about it. Like, there was even a moment too, in the Law DLC when Law brings Nami, the map and, kind of tells him about, or tells her about the kid and everything, about what his dream is and everything, or at least what part of his dream pertains to. Nami doesn't say nothing about it, where it's like, that's a bit copying my dream, where this kid wants to draw a map, not of just this island, but of the world. Like, that kind of copies my dream. Like, I'm probably gonna have to lay it down gently and tell this kid, like, look, maybe we might be two different people, but, it's just basically it's a race to see who could draw, the, like, basically a map of the world first. But so far of what I've been doing, I've kind of got, the head start of it, because I've been doing this since the East Blue. I've been doing this since the East Blue all the way over to the New World right now. Like, this is how far I've been doing it. And it's like looking at this kid, it's like you're kind of like you're like way too far of your time, kid. I'm sorry, but someone's already taken your dream. I'm sorry. You know? Like, if the kid had a different dream where, he's an adventurer, but he's more of like wanting to go and explore islands and everything and kind of like write a story about it, I could definitely be like, okay, that is a dream that no one else, at least that I know of, has done. But for you wanting to draw a map of the world, like you want to go to island other than your own home and draw islands and everything, or draw island maps and everything, but all over the world. That's stealing someone else's dream, kid, and someone's already way ahead of you on that. So that throws a wrench in there. That throws a wrench in your little, dreams there. Even though you're a kid, but someone already has that, so it's too late, really. I'm surprised Law didn't even tell him, like, I know someone that wants to do the same as you, but, you know, I don't know. But it's a good thing it was a filler thing, though, because, legit, though, yeah, like, legit, though, if it pertained to the actual main story and stuff, then, yeah, most definitely Nami might be the one to personally tell the kid, like, look, that's sort of my dream. You're sort of kind of already beat to the punch already. Like, maybe what you could do as an alternative, you could still be an adventurer and go, explore out islands someday. But, what you could also do is that, you could write a story. You can write little log stories about your adventures and stuff. Like, to make it truly like an adventure kind of thing. But it's a filler story, though, in Lost DLC. It's a filler story. So I'm like, you know what? That's fine, though. Um, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about World Seeker anymore, but I just saw his video and everything, Alex Swag's video, and I'm like, you know what? Like, honestly, though, the best one I had to go and play as was Zoro's and stuff, because Zoro's had more chapters to it and everything. Like, it had like 8 chapters in total. Well, because it was regarding over to fighting Kagero at the end and stuff, like, you get into like a lot of boss fights, for Zoro's DLC and stuff. Like, you get into a lot of boss fights. But for Sabo's DLC and for Lost DLC, like, Lost DLC is fun, like, there's a lot more you could do with him. Like, you can go and kind of just, by a snap, kind of shift over to places, and it's fun. And basically, you could do a lot more with Law than you think, but, so no problem with that and everything. But with, Sabo's, though, like, the only exception is that his pertained to the main story. It wasn't filler like Law's, but the only problem is, though, is that, Sabo should have been more OP. Sabo should have been a lot more powerful than what he is, because this flame gauge that he has, it's terrible, like, if he was to have a flame gauge, it should have been at, 100% just automatically. It should be like, oh, yeah, 100% of a flame gauge, you can, automatically use that to your advantage to either become the fire or, turning your whole body into fire as, pertaining to the Logia there. or, flat out just, making your abilities much stronger and everything. It doesn't do nothing to your health. It doesn't do anything bad to you at all. It's just, your flame gauge is already at 100%. You could do whatever you want with it. You could use it, like I said, to make your whole body into fire, make yourself immune. Well, would only have to make yourself immune compared to, like a few other like characters and stuff, like Crocodile, for instance. Like, if you're fighting Crocodile and you put yourself in the Logia form, you can actually survive out, like Crocodile's, like sand attacks and stuff, like the Sables and the La Spada, like, all those moves that he throws at you and everything, you could survive it all. So basically, there you go. But say if it was a character that had, but say if it was a character like Okainu that can easily break through your fire, or characters with hockey or Sea Prism Stone, because they did show like throughout the main story of the game that there were weapons that basically had Sea Prism Stone to it and everything. Like, these were Sea Prism Stone bullets, and they can actually hurt Devil Fruit users. Like, they can hurt Luffy, even though he's made of rubber and the bullet should bounce off of him, but they made it specific. It was Sea Prism Stone bullets, so that's how they're able to hurt him. And that would work the same way with Sabo, is that if they were just regular bullets, they would pass right through them. It would be like, pew, 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 and it's like, really, bro? Really? It's like, that didn't do nothing. But since those Sea Prism Stone bullets and everything, even if you put yourself in the fire form, it would still hit you because they're Sea Prism Stone bullets. But if they were regular bullets, though, then yeah, they would pass right through you and be like, well, you can't hit me. But, there's also, like, some other, like, riffraff characters and everything. Like, the example would be like, Navy leaders, or, like, these, well, not really vice admirals, but they're kind of, like, these Navy leader guys or whatever, where, some of them even wear the long hats and everything, and they got the coats, too. Of course, some of them have names like, there's like, Windblade Diomis or something, or Diomis, I think. Diomis or something, but, like, characters like that, basically. You use the fire form and everything. I don't think they would really be able to hurt you unless they're using hockey and their slashes, but I don't think so. There's also these guys that carry, like, shields and rocket launchers on them, or yeah, they're rocket launchers. Like, they're kind of like little missile launchers or something. Um, and then there's also these guys that carry the hammers and stuff. Technically, what I noticed is that they can, like, those guys can also use hockey with, like, they basically use a lot of armament in their weapons and everything, like in the hammer guys' weapons. So technically, you'll see the hammers going black, and like, those will basically do like, basically, if you're blocking, you'll be lucky enough that you can block it and you can easily take it. But if you get your block broken, it's gonna hit pretty hard, because those guys pretty much, like, whenever they have their little buffed up stats and everything, they hit pretty hard. So whenever they hockey up the hammers and everything, and you're in the fire form with Sabo, yeah, they're gonna break through that. They're gonna hit you like a truck. They'll be like, pew. It's like, okay, like, hit you into a wall. As for boss fights go, only problem that I really see, though, is, basically, yeah, only problem that I see, though, is Smoker, Alkainu, and I think that's about it. I think it's just, Smoker and Alkainu, because, kind of looking at other, like, boss characters and everything, well, I mean, besides regarding over to Katakuri, but Katakuri's a challenge mission, but for actual, like, boss fight characters, though, not really a lot of them would be a problem, though, because, they'd be technically really easy. But For Smoker and Okainu, like I said with Okainu, the magma like basically will break through the fire. So you try to use the Logia form on Okainu, he'll easily just pia like punch you into the floor, and you basically be done. But Smoker, though, on the other hand, it's different because Smoker only has the weapon. Smoker only has the Jide weapon, I think is what you call it. Like these, like this kind of staff looking weapon, but only on the tip of it and everything. At the tip of his weapon, has Sea Prism Stone. So, he does basically kind of do like a jab move and everything. I think that's only if you get close to him, or I think he kind of does a bit like a far away type of move. But but if you're in the fire Logia form and everything, and he hits you, with the tip of his weapon, it'll break you out of it completely. Kind of throwing over the logic of Burning Blood, because Burning Blood kind of will play a lot, with the World Seeker if they did that, but since they didn't, it's like okay. Um, but anyway, though, throwing World Seeker out of the way and everything, because, like I said, I just wanted to go and talk about that. Just that final part and everything. It's just, can't really decide which DLC is my complete favorite, but I probably might have to go with Zoro's, though, because even though they didn't add in, some cool new details and stuff, like, maybe a new character to show up and stuff in, World Seeker and everything for Zoro's DLC, it was still a good, DLC. It wasn't bad. It was pretty, long and good. So, Zoro's DLC gets my approval. It's good. But yeah, throwing World Seeker out of the way and everything. I've, I've also been looking at some Jump Force content and everything. And I just watched Enigma Kage's video, which, by the way, shout out to his channel, too. Um, I went and looked at his video of, he's been doing a lot of matches because there's an event going on, like a arena event going on in Jump Force. And it's to get the Goku Black outfit, so pretty much I'm gonna be too late to get that, because I think either today or tomorrow is the last day to go and play the arena event, and and apparently it seems like I'm gonna be getting a Jump Force as a Christmas present from my friend tomorrow. So there you go with that. But, but basically from what I've seen and everything, Jump Force is kind of the same as what Burning Blood was. Like, not exactly the same, but as in the player-wise. Basically, whenever there's something really cool that people want to, people really want to get, as in, either rewards to be on a certain rank, or, just basically being the best player, to have, the highest ultimate rank, throughout, all the other servers and everything, people don't really have to try that hard and everything. Like, if they wanted to try hard, play as in, not a try hard style, but play in, a good regular style to use different types of moves, instead of just using, a spamming move all the time. Because, from what I've noticed with a few characters that I've, tested out and played with when I go to my, friend's house to play Jump Force over there, um, it seems that Jotaro and Dio's, stand moves the world and Star Platinum with, them doing a lot of the punches, the Mudas, and the Orta moves. It seems like that one could really be a spamming move and stuff. Like, if someone mained those characters and stuff, if they mained those characters, and the only way how they really mained them was by doing, the spamming moves and stuff in a lot of their online matches, people would basically be like, dude, if you didn't have that character, if we completely canceled out that character for you and stuff, which technically you can't really cancel out characters. Like, it's not a complete Burning Blood to which all three of them have, health bars, and if you take out one, you can't use the other ones. Like, it's not like that. They made it completely different to where you can switch out from a character, but yeah, the health is still the same and stuff. Like, the health doesn't change, which I think a lot of people wanted that, to be a change and stuff. Like, maybe as an update for for 2020 and stuff, like basically make it to where not just one character that you play with, but all three that you choose all get health bars, and you can basically use it however you like, instead of making it the matches like so super quick and everything. Instead of making the mix like, well, instead of making them like kind of long or something, like they wanted to go and make the matches quick and stuff with just having like one health bar for all three of the characters and stuff, like just one. But but yeah, but I've noticed that basically in Jump Force, it seems like it is the same as a Burning Blood, with a lot of their people being tryhards, being spammers. Um, I mean, now that I finished World Seeker, it's kind of making me think that I could go and play a different game, like only just to test out one more thing on World Seeker, and if it turns out to be pretty cool, then there you go. I'll basically be content with just done with the game. Um, which also, by the way, I've noticed on my trophies and everything, whenever I got all the law trophies and everything of his DLC, apparently it told me I had 98% of, 98% of trophies, on, yeah, basically 98% of trophies on World Seeker, and I'm like, dude, I basically got all the trophies in the game. It should say 100% on it, unless that's a little glitch in there, and like it's a little glitch or like a little thing, and it's basically telling me like, yeah, you got all the trophies, we'll fix that later and everything, and then boom, 100% right there. But if it continues to stay 98%, that's almost like telling me there's something else coming along the way, like like a possible update that it's like, oh, you thought we were done with this game. It's like, oh no, there's gonna be more characters showing up in World Seeker. Like, we're not getting ready for the sequel yet. We're working on it, but not yet. So we're gonna give you more content of the first World Seeker. Like, there you go. It's like, okay. Like, that's cool. Like, that depends on what DLC characters we get, or, what more story we get and everything. Like, I'm curious. Um, yeah. But anyway, though, with Burning Blood and stuff, I remember whenever I would go and play like some online matches on Burning Blood. I battled like some good people and everything. Like, I battled some good players and stuff. They kind of used all random moves and everything, and I was like, you know what? That's basically all what matters and everything, is just using the random moves and stuff. Like, random moves aren't really so bad. It's pretty cool to use random moves and everything. So, pretty cool and stuff. Like, you don't always have to go and spam. Like, if you play Ace, you don't always have to spam Fire Fist all the time, which whenever I go and play against the CPUs, I do that to make, the battles faster. Like, if I know a move with a certain character to use, and it basically does a lot of damage and everything, like Ace's Fire Fist, then basically I know to use that move to basically, do that a lot faster against the CPUs. But, say if it was, say if it was, like, against, like, an actual player, I would only use the move, like, once or twice. I would only use it, like, once or twice and everything in each of my fights. But, yeah. But if I used it, like, multiple times during, like, an actual online match and everything, like, another player, it wouldn't technically be fair, because that just means that I'm also being just like the spammers. And I don't want to be just like the spammers. I don't want to be just like those guys. I'll do that against the CPUs, and that's different. And possibly even the CPUs might actually help me learn that I can not just use one move, but I can use multiple different other ones to, kind of train myself up against the online players. Like, I can actually get pretty smart with it. Um, you know, but the one match I do remember though is that there was this person that chose Aokiji as one of their characters, as one of the three, and Aokiji has one of the move sets in which it's a counter. So whenever you go in to hit him, his counter actually does a lot of damage and everything. And so I'm just like, dude, you know? And this one person that I fought and everything, it seemed to be either someone that's a tryhard or someone that was like a kid playing this game, because honestly, if it was someone like myself, like around, this age and mindset, basically they wouldn't be like that and everything unless, like I said, they were a try hard. But if they weren't, they'd actually be more skeptical and using different other moves like I would try to do, and basically be like, you know what, pretty good fight. Let's see how it ends. Like either me or you, win and everything. Let's see. And it would just be like this endless battle going on and stuff, whether if we land the hits or not. But but this kid or whatever, this person that was using Aokiji didn't use any other attack moves, was always waiting for me to hit him all the time, because I was always charging in to go and hit them, and I chose Ace because Ace is like my main. Ace is a pretty good character. But, whenever I went and was trying to go either from like far away or up close to hitting him, he always kept spamming counter all the time. He wouldn't use any other moves. It was always spamming the counter. And I'm like, okay, you basically should be ranked down. You obviously lost because of the fact you kept using counters all the time. Like, in all reality of, like, if there were people, like, if there was an audience watching this fight, and, if they basically were, like, if they were watching this fight, and was seeing how I was playing, and seeing how this kid was playing, then most definitely people would have been like, the dude with the ace won. The dude with the ace won this fight. I'm sorry, but vote goes to him that he won and everything, like, kid, you kept spamming counter all the time. No one needs to go and spam counters just to win. Like, use different other moves. Like, maybe along the line of, like, your fighting style and everything, like, you can get up close and personal and, fight that way. Or you could be kind of like one of those characters that can, like, sit far back and kind of just, do a lot of moves that way and everything. Like, there's a different style to go and using some characters. But, you know, basically, though, whenever you create your own style and everything, don't have it just be using just one move all the time. Like, you can use different other moves and everything. With this kid, though, just kept spamming Aokiji, counter all the time. Like, it was the ice time counter. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm saying, though, like, if people were watching that fight legit, they should have definitely been, like, it should have definitely been, like, a voting poll, like, alright, battle's over and everything, but who do you think actually won this fight? Like, do you think the guy using the ace won the fight, or do you think the guy using the Aokiji won the fight? People most definitely would have went for the ace person, me, that would have won the fight, because they would have been like, this dude kept using counters and everything, wasn't even trying. It was more like, this dude was more like, oh, it's like another peasant player and everything. I'll just spam Aokiji counters and everything because this guy needs to get out of my way. And then, bloop, getting the person out of the way and stuff, and that's it. Game over for them. But me, on the other hand, I'm more of a person that actually wants to try. I'm not a try hard, but I'm like, I actually want to try and actually do something instead of just being like the spamming, person that would use just one move. Like, I don't know just how to use one move. I know how to use some other ones and stuff because, with Ace actually has it to where he has like long range and close range moves and stuff. So Ace technically is both, but but with Aokiji though. The same thing where he has, long range and close range moves. But, with Aokiji, though, it's like, with Aokiji, it's more of just, like, the counters and everything. It's just, the counters is always what kind of gets me and stuff, and it gets me really mad because I'm just like, can you not spam the counters? Like, can you not do that? Because honestly, the people that keep on spamming counters and stuff, those people don't really need to be playing any type of fighting games like that. Like, not Burning Blood, not Jump Force, Xenoverse Fighters, like, any type of fighting game like that. People don't need to be going, and playing, like, against other people to, spam moves and everything. They don't need to do that. Because if they do, like, Bandai or somebody and everything that's watching all this should basically be like, okay, we're gonna put in some rules now, and whoever spams and everything, by the end of the fight and stuff, even if the other person gets beat and everything, we'll detect a spammer when we see one, and when that happens, the spammer doesn't win. The spammer actually gets, the spammer gets like a little notice to be like, look, we understand that you want to win, but spamming is not the way. There's other moves to use with a character and play smart. Don't play stupid and use one move. Okay, there's multiple others. You know, but I don't really know if that would get the spammers' attention, or basically it would just make them rage quit and be like, I won that fight fair and square. It's like, no, you didn't. You just spammed, this one move the entire game. Like, you didn't technically win. We're giving the win to the person that actually was using different other moves. They were playing smart and everything. You were more like just trying to avoid getting hit and everything, and was just spamming like this long range move, or maybe just, getting away, trying to teleport, and kind of just hitting them from, close up and everything, but that's all you know how to do. You don't know how to do, all these other like tactical, kind of styles or moves, and basically you just do all that. So honestly though, like if I go and like play online and kind of just get myself in like those type of matches and stuff, and basically just get myself beat up and everything by spammers, I'm gonna go and make a bit of report claims and stuff on them and be like, you're not supposed to spam, play smart, dude, don't play stupid. They might complain back at me and be like, how about you go and play better, you know basically my own comment would be like, yeah, like, get reported, boy. Get reported, because you don't know how to play fair. You don't. Playing fair is by, actually doing different other moves and stuff, like playing smart, like, most of us are. But you and the rest of your little spammer gang, nah. Like, get out of here. Because honestly, we don't need spammers and everything. Like, if they wanted to go and spam against a CPU and everything, go enjoy your fun that way. But whenever you play against an actual person, use other moves. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, this will be the end of the video right here and everything. Not really much to cover up for Pirate Warriors 4 this time. Because like I said in the last video, we really didn't get no Marineford trailer just yet. Like I said, all we still really got was like screenshots and stuff, not an actual like Marineford trailer. Until we get that though, I'll make an announcement and everything of what I see as of cameos in there. But as of like right now, I haven't seen nothing yet of a Marineford trailer. We probably might get that like next week or something. Maybe sometime next week or the week after, but whenever we do, either regarding to new characters or maybe like just some cameos of characters that could possibly make it in the game, and Bandai just doesn't want to reveal that yet, that'd be okay too, because I'd be like, I love the mystery. I love the mystery and, the little teaser that we get, like these cameos of characters to make it and everything, and it's like, yeah, they got player models in this game and everything, so only big possibility will they make it in. And honestly, we can definitely tell since they have a player model and they're either going to be NPC or they're going to legit be playable characters. It's going to be like, yeah, enjoy. It's like, thank you. That's all we ask. Thank you. But yeah, but this will be the end of the video right here because I got some busy stuff going on and everything, like a bit busy, but not too much. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't, leave a like on the video, and leave a comment down below of your thoughts of, basically what you think about spammers, like, spammers in fighting games in general. Not just, like, anime games, but if you play, like, a fighting game and you see someone doing, like, spamming moves, like, what are your thoughts on that, really? Because I just gave my opinion about it. I hate spammers. Just like what I said with my experience on Burning Blood and everything, like, counter spammers. I hate those guys. But anyway, though, this will be the end of the video, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, or a Merry Christmas, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.